What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoken the real. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the horizon where success is no.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network, and it is always a great pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to come before you to share a few moments so that we can talk about encouraging and empowering one another. So I am very excited for the program this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where in the world you are watching us from. But we're going to have a wonderful time as we're going to have a discussion, a great discussion on one of those topics in which is somewhat elusive to many of us, but it is something that we all desire in life, and that is to have that happy place, how to live a happier life. So that's going to be our topic of discussion for today. But before we get into that, I just want to give a couple of shout outs to all of our guests that are on board with us this afternoon. So if you're joining us, please just type something in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We would love to acknowledge you and welcome you to the broadcast. I see we have my sis in the building, the one and only Elevate with Vern. Blessings, my sis. Great day to you as well, and always a great pleasure to see you and have you amongst our midst. So yes, we're very much looking forward to the discussion this afternoon. And before we get into that, we just want to do a recap of the discussion in which we had last week, in which we talked about what happens when you outgrow your team. So we're not necessarily talking about team members in the workplace or in your business or in sports. We're also talking about your family, friends, and other participants as well. So if you missed that broadcast, I want to encourage you to go back and watch that on both of our YouTube channels. My partner, Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions. You can watch it on her YouTube channel and also on my YouTube channel, which is Rob McCray Networking. So yes, we're going to get into our topic of discussion in just a few minutes. Greetings and blessings, Pastor Fred. God bless you, sir. Always a great privilege to have you with us here on What's Holding You Back. God bless you, sir. Hope you are having an amazing Wednesday and the start to the week, as we are already halfway through the week. And yes, in the 8th month of August. Wow, time is just moving by so rapidly. So yes, we're going to get into our discussion for today. But before we do, as we always customarily do here on What's Holding You Back, we always like to start off with a word of inspiration in regards to our particular topic for today. So we're going to bring that up and we're going to shed a little light upon that inspirational quote, and then we shall get into our discussion for today. All right, so our inspirational quote says, "Stop looking for happiness in people, places, or things. If you don't have it inside, you won't find it on the outside." Translation: Happiness starts within you. You have to love yourself. You have to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, lead with those greatest qualities and features that you have to offer, and you want to continue to work on the things that you know you have some flaws in. So that's just a part of the process in, finding that place of happiness and contentment. You don't want it to be just an emotional state, but you want it to be an actual state of being where you will always be in that presence, in that glow of happiness. Because why? It is already within you. It is already a place in which you live, in which you reside. So you don't need to go back and forth and be like a roller coaster, up and down, with filled with emotions. Once you have that inner peace and that belief in yourself, and you have that love of yourself, that's when you will truly find and identify with happiness within you. So that is our inspirational quote for today before we get into our discussion. Yes, Vern, thank you so much. She greets everyone and welcomes you to the live. So we're going to have a very interactive discussion this afternoon as we talk about finding that happy place in life, or how to live a happier life. So I'm going to bring up some more slides. It's going to have a list of questions, and I fully want each and every one of you to engage and participate and put in some comments. That's how we're going to really um, find that place in which we so desire. We all want to have happiness in our lives, but we first have to be able to state or identify those things that truly do make us happy. So let us bring up the slides, and then we're going to have a little Q&A session. And I would greatly appreciate if you respond and type your comments in the chat, and we should bring them up on the screen. And then it's going to be a therapeutic session for us as well. So we can all get to that place in which we truly desire in finding great happiness within our lives. Blessings Jones from um, Caregivers Referral Services of Toronto. Yes, Joan has a wonderful business where she provides caregiving services for those in need. So blessings, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So I'm going to make this a little larger. I hope you guys can see the questions there on the screen. I'm going to read them out loud. I'm just going to ask that you put your answers to any one of these questions that resonates with you. Put your answers in the comment section, and let's talk about these things real quick. All right, so just give me 1 second to pull this up on my end. Okay. All right, so what does happiness look like for you? So first, let me just bring up a couple of definitions of what happiness is. So according to Aristotle, who was a great Greek philosopher, he stated that happiness is the ultimate goal of human life. Yes, we all want to be happy. The highest good, and is attained by living in accordance with one's true nature as a rational being. This is not a fleeting emotion. I'm going to repeat that. This is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being. So, yes, when I said that it starts within you, So you have to be at peace with yourself. You have to love yourself. And once you are in that place, you're in that space, then you will truly find that happiness that you so desire, because it all starts within you, right? And he goes on to say, a state of being through a life of virtuous activity and rational engagement. All right, so the dictionary definition of happiness states that it is a state of well being characterized by positive emotions, contentment, and a sense of satisfaction with one's life. I would agree to that. It's a complex emotion encompassing various feelings, from fleeting moments of joy to a more profound sense of fulfillment and purpose. So, those are two different, well, they're not really different, but they're two states of definitions of what happiness really is. So, if you would, type in the comments, what does happiness look like for you? What is your definition of happiness in your own words? Where do you go to find happiness, joy, and peace in your life? All right, so now let's talk about some of these questions here that are on your screen. Let me know if you're having any problems seeing the questions on the screen. Okay, I see a couple of comments. Let me just share them real quick. Sister Yvette from Bold Nutrition Consulting. Blessings, my sis. Always glad to have you with us. Thank you so much. Vern, can I hear me? Hold on. Are you guys hearing me? Sound check, sound check. Let me make sure you're still hearing me. Is everyone hearing me? Okay. All right. So yeah, when I came off the screen, I must have lost my audio. Okay. My apologies for that. All right. So no, what I was saying was so let me backtrack a little bit. I was giving the definition of happiness. Okay. I don't know if you caught that part or not. So let me just go over that real quick. So I was stating that Aristotle's definition of happiness is, let's see. Okay, thank you so much. Aristotle's definition of happiness is the ultimate goal of human life, the highest good, and is attained by living in accordance with one's true nature as a rational being. This is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being. Yes, very important. A state of being, meaning that you are always in that presence or that place of happiness because it is already within you. It is not just a fleeting emotion that comes and goes. You always want to be in that happy state. And you never want to give anyone else the authority or to be in control of your emotional state. Because when you do that, you are just becoming their puppet, and they are your puppet master, and they're going to pull your strings. So you don't want to be your happiness to be an emotional state. You want it to actually be a state of being in who you actually are. All right. So the dictionary definition of happiness is a state of well-being characterized by positive emotions, contentment, and a sense of satisfaction with one's life. It's a complex emotion encompassing various feelings, from fleeting moments of joy to a more profound sense of fulfillment and purpose. So that is the dictionary's definition of happiness. All right, let me just take a couple more comments. Okay. Okay, thank you for having me. Glad to be here. Okay, blessings, my sis. You are more than welcome. Vern says, I smile in trials. Does it hurt? Yes, but do it anyway. Absolutely, Vern. Yes. We must go through the pains, the struggles, the trials and tribulations, but yes, continue to push forward and go through all things. I missed Jones' comment here. All right, so let me just share that real quick. And Jones says, I am the happiest person after prayers. Yes, blessings, my sis. Love that. Happiness is a state of feelings, in my opinion. Yes, it is a state of feelings and emotions. Yes, but we want to be able to be in that place, be in the presence of happiness anytime in which we feel or so desire. We want to know that we can always be happy in our lives because happiness resides within us. All right. All right. So let's go into the questions here on the screen, and we're going to have a little discussion about some of these comments here. So any of these questions that really resonates with you, please comment and share your thoughts on it. And I'm going to be reading each one out verbally, just in case you cannot see it too clearly on the screen. I know they are a little small. All right, so the first one says, when was the last time you felt truly happy? And what were you doing? All right, so let me just shed a little light on that one there. So, yes, the last time, well, I'm not going to say the last time, but um, this past weekend, I had a very enjoyable time with friends and family as we had a family reunion. We went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we just had a wonderful time reminiscing and just being in the presence of one another and just expressing our joy of being able to be amongst one another, share thoughts, ideas, and plans for the future. And it was just a very rewarding time. And we're already making plans to make sure that we continue to do this on an annual basis, if not sooner. But yes, it was a very rewarding and enjoyable time this past weekend. All right, next question. What actions are stealing your peace and joy right now? Hmm. So, is there anything that is stealing your peace and joy right now? Well, I would say for me, um, the only thing that's really somewhat, I wouldn't say stealing my joy, but is a bit of a hindrance to me, is because, we all have to go out and work, and we have to make provisions for ourselves and for our families. And in doing so, we have to take away time from the things in which we truly enjoy in life because we have what? We have bills to pay. So until I get to that place where my business, the thing that I really enjoy doing, is like engaging with each and every one of you and helping others to fulfill their dreams, their goals, and their desires. Once that gets to a place where I can sustain myself through the business, then I will have more time to focus on just doing that. And that is my true passion, my love and desire. And that's going to give me the greatest joy and happiness. And once you're in that place, then life just becomes that much more enjoyable. So that's the place that I would love for each and every one of us to get to, where we can do something in which we love and enjoy doing. And at the same time, that's going to provide an income stream for us, and it shall sustain us for the rest of our lives. And that's what these broadcasts are all about here on What's Holding You Back. We want to ensure that we are sharing our thoughts, our plans, and ideas with all of you guys so that we can all someday be in that place where we can have the enjoyment of doing the things in which we love to do that will provide a main source of income for each and every one of us. So we're going to get back more into that in the coming weeks ahead. But yeah, I just wanted to share that on this particular question here. Okay. Question number 3. If you stop trying to impress others, how would your life look different? hmm So to that one, I would say that one is no longer applicable to me. I don't know if applies to any one of you, but in our younger days, we were always trying to impress others, and we found our place. We found ourselves doing things that were not of out of necessity, but more or less trying to impress someone else. And you spend a lot of time and money doing things that really were not productive to your well-being or you elevating or getting to a better place. So those are just some of the things that we have to be mindful of and make sure that we're not living a life of false pretense. All right. So question 4, are you living according to your values or someone else's expectations? Ooh, love that one. That's a very good question there. Are you living according to your values or someone else's expectations? Yes, I know many of us struggle with this, being, trying to be at least people pleasers, and that's a bad place to be, and live up to the expectations that someone else may have for you as to how you should be living your life. No, we all have our own race to run. So you cannot live your life according to how someone else is expecting you to live. No, let them set their expectations over their life. How you're going to live your life is according to the giftings in which you have. Those gifts and the blessings that the Lord has given unto you, that purpose over your life, that is what you need to be focused on and live a life that is pleasing unto the Lord. And that will be your guide and direct you in the path in which you should lead. All right, so let me take a couple of comments as I see they are coming in fast and heavy, which is good. Okay, so let me step back 1 second. Okay. Vern says, I see God in everything. Amen. Amen. Sister Yvette says, and thank you for having me. Glad to be here. Okay. Blessings, sis. I smile in trials. Does it hurt? Yes, but do it anyway. Okay. I think I read that one already. And Yvette says, amen to that. The presence of the Lord is always present in my life. Yes, love that, my sis. Awesome. Okay. Yvette says again, I saw your joy. Glad to see you all having fun. Oh, yeah, you must have seen one of the videos. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we were riding the bumper cars. We was at the beach. And as you can see here on my forehead, I got a crazy tan. And my skin is just peeling off now. So I'm a little discolored. So please forgive me for that. Okay. And Sister Jones says, lack of prayer, like a lack of prayer life steals my peace all the time. Joan, that is so true. Yes. When you take that time to have your communion with God and just have that quiet time, that peaceful time to commune with God, speak to God, uh, yeah, just extraordinary things will start to take place in your life, and you will start to um, hear from God, and He'll instruct you in different things in which you need to be doing and how to best direct your path. So yes, that was very profound statement, sis. And at the ending of her sentence, it says, "In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy." Amen. God bless you, my sis. Okay, Sister Yvette says, no longer applicable to me either. Yes, okay, all right. By okay, Yvette says, by my values only. Okay, so, all right. So that was question 4. Are you living according to your values or someone else's expectations? Sister Yvette says, by my values only. Excellent, sis. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, right on. Okay, all right. So I think we have all of the comments in so far. All right, so let us continue on with the questions. Okay, so question number 5. What are 3 things you are grateful for today, right now? Okay, I am grateful to be in the presence of each and every one of you. I am thankful for good health, good family, a good support team, great people in my life. I'm grateful for my growth, my relationship with God. I'm grateful just for life in itself. There are so many things that we should all share our gratitude for each and every day. When you wake up in the morning, just give thanks. Say, thank you, Father, for awakening me and allowing me to be here amongst my peers for another day. Be in good and sound mind, good health, and have all of your faculties and the ability to do anything in which you so desire. You know, we should all be giving thanks for all of these things and so much more. And as a wise word, a wise man always say, um, the more that you show gratitude for, is the more things that you will have to be thankful for. You know, it all starts with showing your love and appreciation, and then in return, you will have so much more to be grateful for. All right, so let's go to question number 6. Okay, all right, hold on. Got some comments coming in. All right. Yvette says, grateful for my health, my life, and love for God and family and healthy relationships. Yes. Love that, sis. Love it. Love it. And Joan says, I am grateful when I can get together with like minded people. Yes, that is the key. Yes. Be around supportive, encouraging, and like minded people. Awesome, awesome. Love the comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right, question number 6. What would success look like if no one else could see it but you? Hmm. What would success look like if no one else could see it but you? All right, I touched on it earlier. Success would look like spending more time in the things in which I truly desire and I'm most passionate about, and that is my business and helping others. And Sister Yvette, we spoke last week. I haven't forgotten about you. Uh, Maybe over the weekend, Friday or Saturday, I'm going to be reaching out to you and discussing some things in which we can do for you in your business. But yeah, you know, I just have a passion for seeing others succeed in life And there's no greater feeling than to see someone else happy, accomplishing their goals and their dreams and their desires, and to know that you are a part of that. That's the greatest feeling in the world. And that's when we talk about that, not being a your happiness not being a fleeting emotion, but a state of being. Because when you can reflect back and you say, wow, you look at how other people are growing and developing, and you can always look back and say, wow, I may have played just a tiny piece or a little part in their lives, but just to see them grow and flourish, that's going to bring you the greatest joy. I know it does for me. But yeah, just to see that and to know that you were a part of it, wow, that's just a great feeling in itself. Okay, all right, yes. So that was question number 6. All right, question number 7. If happiness had a voice in your life, what would it tell you to start or stop doing? Yes, what would it tell you to start or stop doing? So, in one of our previous episodes, we talked about focusing on you. So, that would be one of those things that inner voice has always been telling me, focus more on you and stop trying to, focus on everything else that um people may not really appreciate. If people don't really appreciate what you're trying to do for them, then why are you trying to put so much time into that? You need to be focusing more on yourself, improving your own self, so then you will have more to impart into others, instead of wasting a lot of time in trying to help people to grow when they're totally content in being at the place in which they are. So you're just putting a lot of time and resources into something that's not going to bear any fruit, because they don't want to go anywhere else. They're totally fine and comfortable being in the position in which they're in. So you're just going to be frustrating yourself by putting so much time and energy into something that doesn't want to produce any fruit. All right, question number 8. All right, let me move myself. All right, from the bottom of the screen. 1 second. Okay. Question number 8. Who or what are you giving energy to that doesn't reciprocate or give back to you? Yeah, like I said in the previous question there. Yeah, focusing or giving too much time to people who are just content with being stagnant. They're not ready to grow. They're not ready to flourish. They're just comfortable being where they're at. So you can't put any time into that. All right. Let me see what Sister Joan is saying. Okay. Success for me is the inner peace. Okay. When things on the outside don't look like others. Yes. Love it, sis. Love it. Hmm. Success for me is the inner peace when things on the outside don't look like others. Gotcha. Love it. Love it. And Vern says, nothing been let things go that does not serve me. Yes. Uplift me or empower me, no matter who it is or what it is. Yes. You have to empower, encourage yourself, and build yourself up before you can really go out there and try to pour into someone else. So, yes, Vern, love that. Okay, Yvette says, okay. Yes. Oh, this is good. This is good. Folks that only care about themselves and only interested in what is best for them and only serves their interests. Yes, there are some very selfish people out there, and when you have that kind of mindset and that kind of belief that it's all about you and no one else, then you're going to find yourself very much isolated, and people are not really really are not going to want to take the time to invest into you, whether that be time or instructions, because you're just self-absorbed, and you're not willing to give back to others. So that's not a good place to be in. We should all be at a place or have the mental state that we want to help others to progress and be a part of the journey. All right, question number 9. What would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you? Hmm. What would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you? Um, I would say in my earlier years that would apply, but now I have gotten over that. I really didn't want to be that much in the forefront in my younger years. I was very much reserved and wanted to be in the background because of the feeling of, what would people say, what would people think. But I had to get over that, and through coaching and teaching, they helped me to find my place, to find my voice, and identify with the greater purpose that God has over my life. And that was more important to me, serving and fulfilling my purpose, than worrying about what the naysayers were going to say. So that really helped me to overcome that, and worrying about what people were going to say and if they were going to be judgmental or not. Okay, we got a couple more comments. Yvette says it's okay. I say a prayer for them and keep it moving forward. Absolutely. Keep it pushing. Stop overthinking and just go for it. Doing that every single day. Yes, don't overthink things. That's how we get into trouble. We want to think about, oh, what if this person says this or this person says that or they think this? Ah, forget about all of that. You have a gift within you. You have something that you do better than anyone else. And if you do not use that gift, then you're going to lose it. So, in fulfilling your purpose in life, it is your role to play and administer that gift and share it with others. And forget about what anybody else is going to say or think. You are doing what you were called to do, and that's a part of your fulfillment in your life's purpose, and that will bring you your greatest joy and unconditional happiness. And Sister Jones says, I would wear my hair very short. Okay, Joe. So what is that in regards to okay, if what would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you? I would wear my hair very short. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So, Joan, are you saying you don't wear your hair short because you're fearful of judgment of others? Oh, sis, you have to live your life. Nobody can live it for you. If that is the style you want to wear, then do it. It's your life. Now, don't worry about what anybody else is going to say or think. Do what is pleasing unto you and pleasing unto the Lord. As long as it is not going against the will of God, then my sis, by all means, go for it. Do it. Yes. Wear it as you will. All right. So last question. question number 10. What does your future self what does your future self need you to do today? Mm. All right, so we should all have some input on this one. What does your future self need you to do today? All right, so I'm going to go back to my original point, which is yes, focusing more on uh, doing the things in which I truly love and desire to do, which is my business and helping others to have or reach fulfillment in their lives, having successful businesses, um, being in a place where our passions are going to provide a substantial income stream for us residually, for the rest of our lives. We don't have to trade our time for money. That's what we do when we're in the workplace. You go to a job, you're trading your time for money. No, we want to be in a place where our business, our passion, our desires in life are providing that um, daily stream of income for us. You have to understand this. The things that you enjoy doing, there are people out there that are willing, able to pay you for those things in which you do. It may be the simplest thing in which you may be thinking about. But if it is something that you are truly passionate about, you enjoy doing, I'm trying to tell you, there are people out there that will pay you just for doing that. For instance, you look at all of these people here on YouTube, right? They make some of the craziest videos. Makes absolutely no sense. You would think they would get no viewers, and those videos end up going viral. And what happens is YouTube actually pays these people for providing that content on their platform. So they're making money just by people watching their videos. So, like I said, there are people out there that are willing and able to pay you for what you do, that gift that resides within you. But if you're not sharing it, if you're not willing to let people know what you have inside of you, then how is it going to get out there to the masses? So you have to be willing to share that. And then, your passion is going to come out. And people are just going to see how authentic it is and how much you truly love what you're doing. And there's going to be some platforms and some doors that are going to open up for you to display that. And that's going to produce an income stream for you. And as you continue to grow and build, and your audience grows, and you keep on doing it consistently, why? Because it's what you enjoy doing. It's what you were doing already, but now you have an audience that's going to pay you for it. That's when you really find your true happiness. And you've been doing it all this time, but now you're drawing an income stream from it as well. It don't get no better than that. So that's when you truly find your happiness in life. Right, Vern? Vern, to tell you, Vern is one that loves to encourage and empowers others on her videos. And look at her following now. She's monetized on YouTube. She's doing great things. She has speaking engagements, empowering and encouraging others just by opening those doors and putting her voice herself on YouTube has opened up so many doors for her. And it can do the same thing for you. But you have to take that step and put yourself out there. Share your gifts to the world. and watch the rewards and the response in which you will get. It's going to be such a blessing for you. Yvette, my sis, you have a phenomenal DNA health based program. Um, I can't wait to get started working with you. Really put you out there. That's the only thing that's holding you back, my sis. You haven't really found your audience, but we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to put you in front of those people because there are so many people out there for looking for what it is that you have to offer. But once we put you in front of those individuals, sky's the limit. You're going to blow up. So yeah, I just want to encourage each and every one of you. Find your gifting, find your passion, find those things in which you love to do. Let's have a conversation. Connect with me. And we'll structure some things and put some things in place to get you out there and put you in front of the audience that is looking for what it is that you offer. And then we're going to find a way to monetize it and create an income stream from it. So that's what it's all about. Yes. All right. So let me just go back and see any comments that I've missed. Okay. Hold on. All right. Let me see what Joan says here. Okay. In regards to her haircut, Joan says, some church people judge you if you cut off your hair. Yes. 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 They do, Joan. And that's that, that's sad, but it's true. Church people can be some of the most judgmental, the biggest hypocrites out there. But yes, my sis, I say to you, live your life and let no one be your puppet master. Don't let them pull your strings and control what you're doing in life. There's only one judge, and you know who that is. So don't worry about what the naysayers say. Live your life, my sis. God bless you. Yvette says, how I look to everyone and letting that complex I have go. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We all had to overcome those things, those issues in life, especially in our younger years when we were unsure of ourselves. We didn't have that good grounded foundation. So we were, unsure of ourselves. But as we mature and as we grow, we learn to tune out the naysayers and just do what it is that we need to do. So, yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Elevate with Vern says, sure do. Okay, yes, Vern. Yvette says again, that's why patience is a virtue and always pays off. Slow and steady. God will make it happen at the right time. Yes, absolutely. When it is your time in your season, God will make a way. It is not on our time or when we think it's the best appropriate time. Wait on the Lord. And when He says, now is the time, then so shall it be. Mhm. Blessings, blessings, my sis. Oh, no, come on, Yvette. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have so much in you, and I see your commitment on Instagram, posting your videos regularly. So yeah, we're going to use some of that content, create some new content for you. But yeah, we just have to get your message out there in front of the right people, and you're going to see amazing things start to happen in your business, my sis. So yes, very much looking forward to that. Vern says, absolutely. My sis, Carlene Graham, blessings, blessings. Good to see you, my sis. I hope you didn't miss most of the broadcast as we had a, wow, very impactful conversation today in which we're talking about um, how to live a happier life. And yes, it was Very revealing, very rewarding, and I truly appreciate everyone's interaction and commenting on the different questions that were posted earlier. So, Sister Curleen, if you missed the beginning, please go back and watch. It was some very good information in there, some good takeaways from it, and I believe something that we can all learn from, and as we all desire to continue to move forward and live a healthier, wealthier, and a better life. Yes, my sis. God bless. God bless. So yes, family. Whoa, wow, we are way over time, almost an hour, 50 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, time flies when you're having fun, right? But yeah, this was a phenomenal conversation, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of it. So in the coming weeks, we're going to start having some more workshops and sharing different strategies and plans, business ideas, and things that you can implement into those of you that have a business or are looking to start a business for yourself or online business for yourself. We're going to start having some more trainings on those particular things, and just share some different tips and strategies with you guys to help you grow and get to that place in which you so desire. But we're going to close things out for today. I thank you all for being a part of the broadcast this evening. So, on behalf of Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, my name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network. And please, if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channels, please go ahead and do so. Christine's YouTube channel is Clear Ambitions, and my YouTube channel is Rob McCray Networking. So once again, thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you next week at 6 p.m. right here for another edition of What's Holding You Back. Have a blessed night, everybody.
What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. Blocks and they say it's fake. When you burn with passion, won't be swayed. Every mountain, every mile, cover them all with a smile. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high.